It's Dozer Day at Country Roots Farm. We're so excited. It's in the woods making a spot to push the trees to. So what we decided to do is, because we don't have running water out here and we don't have one area that we're gonna clear that we wanna put all the trees in the middle and burn it later yet. So what we figured we'd do is gonna push all of those trees into that ravine that was useless anyway. So hopefully over time it'll break down and it will end up extending the land in that area. Or we'll burn it in the years to come. Whatever it is, it'll be out of the way. And all these trees are getting out of here today.
I'm very excited.
When the dozer first started pushing into the woods, we were so excited to see the trees fall that we just stood here and watched. It's like what every kid wants to see is a big dozer pushing through the woods, and it's absolutely amazing. The area he's focusing on the most is the home site. The land right here is really rough. It has a lot of divots and raised areas and a lot of big trees. What he's pushing has already been forestry mulched, and these are all the trees that the forestry mulcher either couldn't do or thought it would be a waste of our money to use him to grind down the trees, since we knew it would be using a dozer in this area anyway to get the ground nice and flat for the house. And we do have him pushing a lot of the big pines and the big cedars, of course, to a separate pile so that those trees aren't wasted. We have an Alaskan chainsaw mill, and fingers crossed we'll get a real sawmill one day. But we're going to use these trees for something on the homestead. It just didn't feel right to take such big, beautiful trees and just push them in a pile to decompose. I guess rot would be the normal word. Let's say rot. It wouldn't be right to push these in a pile to rot. For this entire area, he's also used root rakes on the front of the dozer. So what that is big teeth, like things that go down a foot into the soil and actually tear out all of the roots so that we won't have to constantly fight all of these trees trying to regrow. And hopefully it'll make it so that the ground stays pretty solid instead of having a lot of areas that become softer from big roots rotting beneath the soil. What's also really nice about the root rake that we notice is that it leaves the topsoil in place. So instead of pushing all of our good soil right on over to the pile with the trees, and we end up with just a clay base or soil that's not full of nutrients, with him using those root rakes, we actually get to keep a lot of the nutrients in the soil, which is fantastic. We are so appreciative of the work he's doing, and it is truly amazing to see such a transformation in just 12 hours. Okay, so the dozer is gone and we got so much cleared. So I want to give you a view real quick. So obviously this is where the driveway is going to be. The house site down there is down. If you can see those big trees laying down, that's what we had him push to the side so that we can use them for projects instead of wasting them. It was some huge pines and some really big cedars as well. But for 12 hours out here, it was amazing. All this is cleared, and I'll take you down and show you where we stacked everything. Our other new area cleared. Excuse me while I try not to breathe so you can't hear it in the camera. Walking up that hill, man. Steep. Everything looked like this, right? Really, really thick, difficult to walk in. But now, so this side was fully wooded, difficult little trees to get through. We only even walked in here once. And now we have a field over here started. And we left this little clump of trees because there's an oak in there and it would end up being in the middle of a pasture. So we wanted to leave some of the bigger oaks that are in here and let them grow up and get even bigger for the pasture. And then we're gonna keep clearing. We just ran out of time. A lot of these little trees and a lot of the trees over there, and just keep opening this up. And it'll be about an acre over here. Oh, nice!
cut an embankment.
Yeah, okay, so taking the tractor, and I know it's hard for you guys to see the steepness of this hill, but taking our tractor down here, we cleared in and made a little path through the woods down here. And it was kind of sketchy to make the turn on this hill in our little tractor, especially if you had any kind of load, so we really would try to avoid it. And now we have an embankment that is actually graded in. Like, look how nice that is. An actual road that comes off the power lines and turns in here. Like, that is so nice. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. So this area was just as steep, and what we did, we cut down a bunch of little trees and we stacked them in a line over here, and it was like a pretty big dip on the side of the hill because we're like this, right? And we cut in with our tractor and started this path. And then when the dozer just came through, I mean, he widened it, he flattened it more. Obviously it wasn't this flat when we did it, but this is actually where you come down, and our culvert bridge is over here. If you can see, which guess what, you can't, because I can't, our pile of trees is in the woods in there, like right in there. I think that was perfect planning to put it in a spot where you really aren't going to notice it, and it didn't take up any more time. We didn't have to risk burning anything out here without a well. So I'm very pleased with that.